When I opened my front door at 4 a.m., still groggy from sleep, I saw it, and I swear for a second I thought I was dreaming. My empty lot next to the house had been turned into a wedding venue. I mean full on, with tents, flower arches, folding chairs, white linens, a damn stage. I just stood there barefoot in my hoodie and stared like, what the hell? And then it hit me. I wasn't invited. No one had asked, but I was the owner of that land. See, I live in a neighborhood outside Augusta, Georgia. It's a mix of old-timers, young families, and a handful of overly enthusiastic rule enforcers. We have a voluntary HOA, technically optional, but if you don't join, good luck avoiding their radar. I'm one of the few who never signed up. I own my home and the lot next door, which I used to store equipment from my construction business. That extra land was perfect for staging gear. And I figured maybe one day my cousin could build a place there, the HOA president. Her name's Cynthia Marshall, but around here everyone just calls her Karen, and believe me, she earns it. Mid-50s, tight blonde bob, pastel cardigans, and the smile of a woman who reports lemonade stands. She acts like the HOA gives her divine right over everything within a 2-mile radius. People join the HOA just to get her off their back. I just ignore her nonsense, or I used to. The week before all this, I had to travel to a job site 2 states over. Normally I'm back in a few days, but this one ran long, so I stayed out there. While I was gone, apparently Cynthia got a little too comfortable with my absence. She must have seen that lot flat, open, not fenced, and thought, oh, how perfect for my daughter's wedding. That daughter being Ashley Marshall, a walking Pinterest board of entitlement, who also happened to be a bridezilla on full blast. They sent out 200+ invites, hired vendors, hauled in decorations and speakers. I heard later they even ordered custom cookies with my street name printed on them like it was some fancy event venue. Not once did they ask me, because I guess in Karen land ownership is just a matter of opinion. When I got back 3 days before the wedding, I pulled into my driveway and nearly drove right through one of their rented porta potties. I walked over in disbelief. Giant white tent, guys unloading chairs. A catering van backed up on my gravel. I asked one of the workers what was going on, and he pointed me to Cynthia, who was strutting across the lawn like she was the Queen of England. I didn't yell, not yet. I approached her and calmly asked, "Excuse me, what exactly is going on here?" She didn't flinch, just blinked at me like I was interrupting her hair appointment. "Oh, hello, this is Ashley's big day. We're just getting everything set up," I said, "right on my property." She waved her hand like I was being dramatic. "It's just one day. You weren't using it. We figured it was okay." I stared at her. "You figured it was okay to host a 210-person wedding without even asking on land that doesn't belong to you?" That's when Ashley walked up in full attitude mode. "You're not welcome here. This is private." I almost laughed. "You're standing on my private property," Cynthia scoffed. "It's just one day. You're being unreasonable. Frankly, it's selfish of you not to let the community use this space, and you're invited. You can even have cake." I told them they had 24 hours to pack it all up and get off my lot, or I'd take matters into my own hands. I didn't yell, didn't make threats. I just walked away and left them to sweat. Or so I hoped. Of course, they didn't move a thing. Next morning, it looked even worse. More decorations, more deliveries, like they were doubling down. And I'll admit, for a moment, I stood in my kitchen staring out the window and wondered if I was going too far. Maybe I was being petty. Maybe I should just let them have the damn wedding, then build them later or something. But then I remembered all the times Cynthia had sent HOA violation notices to people for leaving trash cans out an extra hour, for planting non-compliant flowers, for daring to paint their door red, and I thought, if I cave now, I'm setting a precedent. I didn't work my ass off to build my company and buy land, just so some overt entitled suburban monarch could waltz in and claim it. So I came up with a plan. I spent that entire day digging through county records, permits, and HOA bylaws. I checked my building permit. It was still valid. I called in a few favors from my crew, guys who've been with me through rain, mud, and 18-hour shifts. When I told them what was going on, they were fired up and ready to go. Morning of the wedding. I was up at 4 a.m. The sky was still dark. I brewed coffee, put on my boots, and walked out to the lot where 3 of my guys were already unloading equipment. First, we dismantled the entire setup, Tables, chairs, the stage, the floral arch. They all got gently but firmly moved to the front of the lot. Then I fired up the backhoe and got to work. I started digging foundation trenches, deep ones, ripping up the grass, reshaping the ground, creating uneven terrain that no heel or folding chair could survive. By 7:00 a.m., the place looked like a construction site because it was, and that's exactly what I told Cynthia when she showed up. She looked like she'd seen a ghost still in her formal dress, holding a binder. "What the hell have you done?" I stayed calm. "I told you if you didn't move everything, I would." She screamed that I had destroyed her daughter's wedding and that I was liable for thousands of dollars of damage. She said I had no right. I just pointed to my building permit and said, "Actually, I have every right." She called the police. Of course they showed up fast, probably because she spun some insane story about vandalism and destruction. But when I showed them my permit, my deed, and explained that I was breaking ground for a future build on my own property, they just nodded. No permit on her end, no contract, nothing in writing. One officer even said, "This looks like a civil issue, ma'am." Cynthia flipped. Ashley never even showed. Guests stood around awkwardly, confused, watching from the sidewalk. Vendors were panicking, trying to figure out where to go. Some guests left, some just stood there in disbelief. Cynthia threatened to sue, said I owed her for catering, flowers, photography, hair and makeup, you name it. I smiled and said, "Go ahead, I'll counter sue for trespassing and cleanup costs." She shut up in the weeks after. She tried to smear my name around the neighborhood, telling people I was heartless and mean-spirited, but the story got out fast. People knew what happened, and they weren't siding with her. Some of them even started questioning why they were still in the HOA at all. A few pulled out. A few others stopped going to meetings entirely. Then came the petty retaliation. Anonymous letters from the HOA about weekend construction violations and unauthorized digging. I knew it was her. I just sent back a copy of my valid permit. They never responded. Funny enough, when my cousin finally did move forward with building on the lot, Cynthia showed up again, this time all sugar and fake smiles, asking if he was planning to join the HOA. He didn't even let her finish the sentence before saying, "Absolutely not," and that was that. Some people think justice needs a gavel or a courtroom. Me, I think sometimes justice is a backhoe at dawn, a battle hoe out lesson. When someone like Karen thinks they own everything, show them what ownership really looks like.